Shalom, shalom. Before I get started, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to YAHAWAHSHI, YAHAWAHSHI, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash, and double honors to the apostles and elders that I learned this truth from, the men at GMS, and the brethren with the like mind and doctrine. This is the brother Bakalai Walam, here with another hopeful, edifying video for the body of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, YAHAWAHSHI. I'm going to play this video. It basically said Vladimir Putin accused West of standing with missiles on our doorsteps. So it's going to go into basically how all this is coming about, which is the third woe. First, I'm going to grab that real quick, Salakia. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 11. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly, which this is what is going to bring about. This whole situation with, the West, NATO, the U.S., NATO, and the EU against Russia and its allies, this is all going to bring about that third woe. So I'm going to let this video play, and I'm going to bring out some scriptures also.
Christmas wouldn't be Christmas without Vladimir Putin's end-of-year press conference, a 4-hour-long game of guess what the president's thinking. A question all the more acute because of fears Putin's New Year resolutions could include invading his neighbor, Ukraine. While Russian troops have been on drills near the border.
It says, look, hold up, Salakia. What it says, guess what the president is thinking. It's like, I'm going to grab a scripture real quick. So it said in that clip, it says, guess what the president is thinking. So this is Ezekiel, the 38th chapter. And it says, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Magog in the land, Salakia. Son of man, set thy face against Gog in the land of Magog, that's talking about Russia, the modern day, the land of Russia today. That's what they're talking about, the Russians. The chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesied against him. Thus saith the Lord, and say, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem YAHAWAHSHI, behold, I am against thee, O God, and the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal. So this is basically going into that third woe, where it's going to be where these missiles are going to be shot off, and Babylon the Great ultimately is going to be destroyed along with other sects of these countries. Like a lot of other countries are going to be destroyed, including on the land of Magog, which is Russia. China and various other countries are also going to be devastated during this time. But ultimately, it's going to be totally destroyed is Babylon the Great, aka America. And what I really want to focus on is what it says on the president's what the president is thinking. And we're gonna jump to the 10th verse, and it says, thus saith the Lord God, Yahweh Ba'ashem YAHAWAHSHI, it shall also come to pass that at that same time shall things come into the mind, and thou shalt think an evil thought. And thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages. The land of unwalled villages is America, Babylon the Great. And I will go unto them that are at rest, that dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls, and having neither bars nor gates, to take a spoil, to take a prey, to turn thy hand upon the desolate places that are now inhabited, and upon the people that are gathered out of the nations, heap unto him all nations, which I'm gonna get that too, and upon the people that are gathered out of all nations, which have gotten cattle, goods, that dwell in the midst of the land. So that's what he's talking about. Talking about Babylon the Great, aka America. That's why Magog, he's going to, an evil thought is going to come to his mind. Now I'm going to get back to this video, and I'm going to bring out some other scriptures too.
A question all the more acute because of fears Putin Christmas without Vladimir Putin's end-of-year press conference, a 4-hour-long game of guess what the president's thinking. A A question all the more acute because of fears Putin's New Year resolutions could include invading his neighbour, Ukraine. While Russian troops have been on drills near the border, part of a mass shift of men and machines, on the other side, Ukraine's been digging more anti-tank trenches just in case. The Russian president denied he has war on his mind, instead accusing NATO of stoking tensions in the region. Asked if he would guarantee there would be no invasion of Ukraine, Vladimir Putin said NATO must first remove troops and military installations from nearby countries.
We put it straight. There must be no further expansion of NATO eastward. What is there not to understand? Was it us who deployed missiles near the borders of the United States? No, it's the United States who came with their missiles to the doorstep of our house. Is this an outrageous demand to stop deploying missile systems near our house?
President
So, so his argument is this, that America is putting missile defense systems at the border of Russia to his house. So what scripture come to mind is, I think it's in Psalms, the 10th chapter. I'm gonna get that real quick, so like you. Yeah, so Putin was saying, well, America is putting missile defense systems at the border of their house, which is Russia, right? They trying to put Ukraine. They trying to put Ukraine on the on NATO's list. They're trying to expand NATO. So it said, this is Psalms, the 10th chapter, in the 4th verse, and it says, the wicked, through his pride of his countenance, will not seek after Yahawah. Yahawah is not in all his thoughts. This is the point, verse 5. His ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight. For all his enemies he puffeth at them. So that's what, that's what America doing, man. Like, he puffing at his enemies, man. Like, everybody that comes against America, man, they regard them not. America doesn't regard these other nations as anything, man, because they are that great whore that sit upon that beast, man. Which is, that great whore is America, is Babylon the Great, aka America, and that great beast is the NATO and the EU. So who can make war with the beast? So that's what he's doing, man. So all his enemies, he's puffeth at them, man. Like, they do what they want. Forget what you're talking about. So I'm gonna get back to this video.
Of our house, is this an outrageous demand to stop deploying missile systems near our house?
President Putin has history in Ukraine. 7 years ago, Russia annexed the peninsula of Crimea and backed Russian-speaking separatists who seized land in the eastern Donbass region. Some 14,000 people have been killed in the fighting. Last night, the two countries and the rebels agreed to a truce. President Putin may not really want to go to war with Ukraine, but he definitely doesn't want the former Soviet nation to join NATO.
Not 1 inch to the east is what we were told in the 1990s. And what happened? We were duped. We were brazenly duped. There were 5 waves of NATO expansion, and now these missile systems are appearing in Poland and Romania. That's what we're talking about. You have to understand, it's not us who are threatening. We didn't come to the borders of the US or the UK. You came to us, and now you're telling us that Ukraine will also be in NATO.
So that's what it is. Like I was going into Ezekiel the 23rd, the 38th chapter, right? That there's going to be an evil thought that's going to come in the mind of Gog and Magog, man, which is Russia, because of the ill dealings of Babylon the Great, aka America, man. They know that Babylon the Great, they do what they want. They know these other countries, they know what America is all about, how they act, but just the masses of people, the dumb masses of people in America, they don't know what's really going on behind the scenes, man. They just believe in that fake logic of freedom, justice, and peace. We fight for freedom, justice, and peace. This is all bullcrap. So I'm gonna also get, I think it's Habakkuk 2 in the 5th chapter. So like it. Yeah, this is Habakkuk, the second chapter, and the 5th verse. It said, Yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home. See, that's what he's doing. He's expanding, trying to expand NATO by gathering Ukraine. You know, neither keepeth at home, who enlarges his desires as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. Shall not all these take up a parable against him, and a taunting proverb against him, and say, Woe unto him that increaseth that which is not his, how long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. So that point was what? Woe unto him that increaseth that which is not his. See, he's trying to expand, like they're gonna go into the video. They say they consider Ukraine a part of Russia, basically. So they trying to expand NATO by gathering Ukraine. So I'm gonna play the rest of this video, Salakia.
We didn't come to the borders of the US or the UK. You came to us. And now you're telling us that Ukraine will also be in NATO.
President Putin says Ukrainians and Russians are one people and should be one nation. Few Ukrainians feel that way. Today, the UK condemned the Kremlin for inflammatory rhetoric against Kiev and NATO, and warned any attack would be a massive strategic mistake. Yet Mr. Putin claimed today the West was listening to his demands.
I would like to underline that in general, we have seen a positive reaction from the West so far. Our American partners tell us they are ready to start this discussion, these talks at the very beginning of next year in Geneva. Representatives from both sides have already been appointed. I hope the development of the situation will proceed along that path.
The ball is now in their court, he said. As is tradition, President Putin gave nothing away.
There it is. See, that's that third woe, man. Like that evil thought we talk about Ezekiel the 38th chapter. It's going to enter the mind, man, because they're going to see what America, NATO, basically America, what they all about, man. They already know what they're about, man. Like he said, they expanded. Like what he said, they had a deal that they not going to expand. A deal long some time ago. I can't remember the correct date or year, but that's what they said. They had an agreement, and but they not going to expand. But what are they doing? They trying to gather Ukraine, and they consider Ukraine basically their brother. There is just another extension of Russia, basically. So that's what's coming, man. Babylon the Great, man. It's gonna be destroyed, aka America, man. And also, all these other NATO and the EU also is gonna ban, the 10 horns shall hate the whore too. That's why these people don't understand, man. Like they don't understand the background of what be going on, man, with America and these other countries, man. They just they believe the witchcraft that is talked about on mainstream media, which media means medium, which is witchcraft. So I hope the point was made. And and I want to say that, like, a lot of people, the masses of dumbasses, or the masses of dumbasses, they don't do any research, man. So they just believe whatever they want to believe without the facts being said. So I want to say, Call Halayim La YAHAWAH, Ba'ashem, YAHAWAHSHI, Ba'ashem Rakakadash, Shalom. Until next time, YAHAWAH Ratazah, which means Lord willing, and Wah, Abba, Babal.